Ladies and gentlemen, there has been some breaking news. The Raiders are sending quarterback Geno Smith and a 2026 seventh-round pick to the New York Jets in exchange for a 2026 sixth-round pick. Per ESPN sources, Smith returns to the team for which he started his NFL career in 2013. He obviously knows the area. He knows the building. He knows the stripes. Does he know how to make that team a winner for the first time in a long time? I guess we shall see. Now, we were chit-chatting a little bit earlier about, hey, if he's not going to be on a roster, just cut him. You can always hang on and hope for a trade to take place. That has happened here. Let's head to the man who broke the news and kind of alluded to it earlier. Felt like he knew that what was coming down the pipe. I don't know if he knew it was a trade or not. Schefter, how did we get to a trade for Geno back to the Jets?
Okay, listen, here's the deal, Pat. First of all, we have more breaking news, which we'll get to in a moment. But essentially, the Jets know that Geno's going to be released. And it's a situation where they got into discussions with the Raiders. Jets have all these extra picks, so they're flipping picks. And now the Jets get to lock in Geno Smith. Geno Smith also is going to restructure his contract with the Jets. So they get him, again, on a deal. Well, they'll be helped out. It won't be the existing contract. It's going to be restructured. That's done as well. So Geno Smith now will be returning to the Jets. One other piece of breaking news here. Romeo Doubs is going to Connor's Patriots.
Wow.
There we go. Wow. More breaking news. So the former Packers wide receiver had a choice of places to go and has decided to go to the New England Patriots.
How many different places did he have? Like, can you give us like a rough estimate?
I think in the end, he had a lot, but he whittled it down, and in the end, there were a couple of teams left.
Okay, a couple of teams left, one of them being the Patriots. Patriots, we had heard and thought through Connor's existence, maybe A.J. Brown gets traded up there because of how close he is with Vrabel. Does this completely rule out the A.J. Brown?
No, I don't think it rules it out, but certainly I think it diminishes the importance that a trade needs to happen. I think it gives the Patriots a little bit of flexibility. It adds another receiver to the
pay the bulk of it, and the Jets will take on Smith's contract at just over vet min, which is like $1.2 million, $1.3 million. So this is the Russell Wilson deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is what Kyler Murray deal is expected to be with whatever team he ends up going to. When you're getting paid by another team, you can go ahead and take the vet min to be on the roster and then let the money build the other spots. Jets not going to be paying a lot of money to Geno here. The Jets have a lot of picks. The Jets got money. Are the Jets a problem? Geno Smith is a New York Jet. Does that let the world know that this ain't going to be the Jets of last year where we had to fire the entire coaching staff but the head coach? This is going to be a whole new era, a whole new time. And to come full circle, you have to go back to the beginning.
That's true.
And Geno, in his era there, was waiting. And now they're right back here. Let's head to the free agency fun zone. A man who is from New York, Shregs. Geno Smith, vet min with the Jets. How do we feel about it? What are expectations?
Look, if you're looking for some like Jet fan, like, oh, there's this great fond memories of the Geno Smith era. Like, I don't know if the fans have that. They appreciate what Geno did his first 2 years starting as a rookie out of the great school, West Virginia.
Thank you.
And then, a couple good years, and then obviously had the incident in the locker room. It was all she wrote, and then bounced team to team to team to team. And then on the other end of it, now becomes this like reliable veteran who can be a leader in the locker room. Dan and I did a Raiders Chargers Monday night game, met with Geno Smith for 40 minutes, and interceptions aside, like, this is a guy who has seen it all in the NFL and has been in a million systems and comes in and at the very least is your bridge quarterback to whatever the future is. Jets fans will roll their eyes at anything they do, and that's just what it is. Look, it's not going to be Kyler Murray. It's not Malik Willis. But Geno could still play quarterback in this league. And if it was Geno Smith or Joe Flacco or Carson Wentz or whoever it was, it's not the future. It's the now, and it's just to hold it over. I will say this, though, about the Jets. They still have a very good young offensive line. So you're putting all the pieces in place, and Geno Smith is a competent quarterback. I'm not giving this an A-plus grade by any means, but at $1.2 million, guy can still throw a football and has seen a million things in his NFL career. He brings some wisdom as well, and now he'll be under Frank Reich's leadership.
He's an adult. They needed an adult.
Brady
in the
Cook
room.
started the last 5 games of their season.
And it's not that, Justin Fields
Come
on. Brady Cook and cooks. But go ahead, Dan.
No, it's not.
Shrapnel.
I think that they tried Justin Fields last year. It didn't go great. There were some injuries. I just think having the opportunity to bring Geno there, bring some stability, bring an adult, like just bring a pro. Geno may not be playing the best football of his career that he did 3 years ago. I still think he plays, give them a chance to win games football. I agree with the offensive line. It would be a better situation. The ideal season for the Jets is for them to win a couple games, be competitive, and then really strike in the 2027 draft. I know I keep saying that, but that's just the reality of the long term.
And I would add this. Last year, the Raiders were very aggressive, and Pete Carroll, and they brought Geno Smith in, and the Seahawks, obviously they moved on and they went with Sam Darnold. But if you go back and you read the media coverage of that entire situation, most people said, well, Seattle's making a major risk moving on from Geno Smith to go to Sam Darnold. So let's not just look at last year in that Geno obviously did not go well in Vegas. Let's take the bigger picture of this, realize who he's played for, where he has played. He has started. He has been a backup. And at $1.2 million, what are we talking about here? That is a fine addition to your team.
Frank Reich, OC, ready to get back into it over there in New York. What are the weapons? What are the New York Jets' weapons? Brees Hall, he's pumped.
Garrett Wilson.
AD Mitchell.
Brees Hall is real pumped.
He's watching other people's wallets, right?
Mason
right.
Taylor.
Garrett played 6 games, I think, last year and was their leading receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, the Jets they have to add a lot.
Straight off camera right there.
They
Just
did add
kind
a
of dropping in. They have to add a lot. They got a lot of time.
Yeah,
They got a lot of chance to figure it all out.
They lost, I think, by 30 the last 4 games of the season, 30 or more. I mean, it was a horrendous product. One of the worst products of football we've ever seen was the Jets the final month of the season. And it's not fair to those fans. It's not. That is just terrible thing to put on. You're selling season tickets. You're selling them. You're making them come to preseason games. You're asking them to do all this stuff. They know that. They know that it's unacceptable. So the hope is that they're charting a new path, and Geno's an adult and can help lead them that way.
What's his name, Dano?
Peter Schrager.
That's what it sounded like right
My
there.
favorite thing for this week.
He was breaking it down right there. Shregs, I love that you just said, I'm going to say what it is, because I want to let you know, for the first time, I think maybe in this show's existence, I've gotten to a point where I've given up full hope in an entire franchise. And I don't like that. I like to give everybody hope, because anything can happen in the NFL. Literally, you add one player, it changes the entire culture. The Colts go from being like 4th overall pick, no changes, terrible culture. Daniel Jones comes in, we're 8-2, we're doing magic. Cincinnati Bengals, before Joe Burrow kind of made the Super Bowl, you're kind of in there. I always try to be as optimistic as possible for every single situation. When I saw Aaron Glenn get caught sleeping at the combine, I was like, man, the football gods hate these people. They hate these guys. They hate them.
Seriously.
They hate, because there's other people sleeping, but they're choosing not to show my eyes that. It's like, hey, just want you to know, Jets are doing it again.
There's this
Jets
like
are doing it again. Go ahead, Shregs.
there's this persona of like, I'm the Jet fan, and I'm saying this in general of like Jet fans of like, oh, I'm just cursed and I can't believe. And you saw the meme with the kid saying like, why do I do it? Like, at the end of the day, like, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks being a Jet fan because they have this streak of the longest streak of not, making the playoffs. And every year you think maybe, and then this and last offseason are real years where you're like, no, they're not going to. Like, there's very little hope. So you think with all these draft picks, with Muji now saying, hey, I can make some savvy moves here.
Maybe.
This is a glimmer. It's a glimmer. At least there's a glimmer. There is a window for that to actually happen. 5 first-round picks the next 2 years.
Crazy.
There is a hope that at least we could pin ourselves on the future if you are a Jet fan. But make no mistake, that is as loyal a fan base and who has been through the crap of the crap the last decade and a half, and they deserve this.
They have a full line change of first-round picks coming up. I mean, that's an insane thought.
And I think they did that before, and they got Sauce, and they got Jermaine Johnson, and they got Quinnen Williams.
And Brees Hall.
And Garrett Wilson. They've done that before, and they hit on every single pick. And they were still the Jets, and that's probably why Jets fans probably feel the way they. How many interceptions do they have this year on defense?
Yeah.
Zero.
Traded for Minka, though.
Tone, they didn't get the quarterback. You need a quarterback.
That's
True.
the thing. They
You're
hit on all
1,000%
those
right.
picks, but Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson wasn't the guy, and nor was Christian Hackenberg, and nor was Brady Cook.
You're right.
And,
You're 1,000% right.
Hackenberg had a shot, though.
He was good.
I want to let you know,
You do need a quarterback.
I lived the Jets life there for a while with Aaron. I was so excited. Remember
The
September
movie.
11th with that flag.
Monday Night Football.
Cursed.
Got a handheld jib on her. Probably spanks.
That awesome. That
I
moment
think
was
Gary
awesome.
Gary V said that was a top 5 sports moment of his life. Just a man running out with an American flag.
It was all there because the hype, the hard knocks, the entire offseason. It was like, hey, we're doing it. Mike Greenberg, one